For most of recorded galactic history, progress meant one thing: replace the old before it fails. Civilizations rose on faster drives, smarter weapons, fleets that evolved faster than their enemies could study them. Efficiency became doctrine. Obsolescence became shame. Humanity never fit that pattern. While other species unveiled sleek, self-optimizing armadas, human fleets remained unchanged. Thick hulls, visible armor seams, manual redundancies, ships that looked like relics parked beside living machines. Analysts dismissed them as stubborn. Strategists labeled them irrelevant. Across countless reports, one phrase repeated: technologically stagnant. The mockery wasn't quiet. Coalition briefings openly ranked humanity at the bottom of strategic importance. Simulations predicted rapid defeat in any large-scale engagement. Even minor powers surpassed them in speed, coordination, and firepower. To the galaxy, humans weren't a threat, they were a leftover. So the decision came without hesitation. A unified directive moved forward to formally remove humanity from military influence. Not through war, but through demonstration. A controlled engagement. Quick. Clinical. Final. Humanity didn't argue. No protests. No negotiations. Just a brief acknowledgement, and a single response transmitted across coalition channels. They would demonstrate capability. Moments later, something unexpected happened. Across multiple star systems, long-dormant human fleets powered on. No upgrades announced. No refits deployed. No visible changes at all. Ancient hulls woke from silence, systems humming back to life exactly as they had been, unchanged, unrefined, and ready. The fleet arrived without spectacle. No formation displays. No synchronized maneuvers. Just mass, slow, deliberate, unshaken. Human ships drifted into engagement range like immovable objects, their scarred hulls carrying the weight of decades. External plating showed impact marks that had never been repaired for aesthetics, only reinforced for function. To the watching coalition, it looked less like a fleet and more like a graveyard that refused to stay buried. Initial reactions bordered on confusion. This was the demonstration. Coalition Command ran immediate scans. Results returned inconsistent. Human ships emitted signals, but not in patterns modern systems could fully interpret. Targeting locks struggled to stabilize. No centralized AI signatures were detected. No adaptive systems, no predictive overlays, nothing that defined a contemporary war vessel. It didn't make sense. Even outdated fleets followed some version of modern architecture. These ships didn't. Still, the outcome felt obvious. Orders were issued to proceed with controlled disabling tactics. No need for destruction. Just enough force to prove a point. EMP waves surged forward first, precise, calibrated bursts designed to collapse internal systems without damaging hull integrity. Simultaneously, cyber units launched intrusion protocols, seeking control pathways, command overrides, anything connected. The response from the human fleet was absolute. Nothing changed. No power fluctuations. No drifting trajectories. No system failures. They kept moving. Coalition analysts rechecked outputs. The data confirmed it. There was disruption, but nothing inside those ships responded to it. No shutdown signals triggered. No systems collapsed under interference. It was as if the attacks had never reached anything vital. Confusion turned to unease. A second wave followed. Stronger pulses. Broader spectrum interference. Deeper intrusion attempts designed to force a reaction. Again, nothing. Human ships advanced at the same pace, unaffected, unbothered, silent. For the first time, Coalition Command hesitated. Then came the order they hadn't planned to give. Escalate to full engagement. The first volleys landed with perfect accuracy. Energy lances carved across human hulls, impact zones flaring under concentrated fire. Kinetic strikes followed, calibrated to fracture armor and cripple internal systems. By every known model, the outcome should have been immediate: cascading failures, loss of propulsion, structural collapse. None of it happened. Human ships absorbed the hits. Armor deformed, plating buckled, but nothing critical failed. Internal systems didn't cascade. No chain reactions. No catastrophic breaches. Damage stayed exactly where it landed, and went no further. Coalition targeting adjusted, increasing intensity. Precision turned to saturation. If one strike couldn't break them, volume would. It didn't. EMP saturation blanketed the field again, now amplified beyond standard limits. Still no shutdowns. No flickers. No loss of function. The attacks were connecting, readings confirmed it, but there was nothing inside those ships that responded the way modern systems were supposed to. Cyber units pushed deeper, forcing aggressive infiltration attempts. They found nothing to control. No centralized cores. No governing intelligence. Just fragmented, isolated subsystems, each one capable of operating independently, none of them fully exposed. There was no single point to disable. And slowly, something worse began to happen. Coalition ships, far more advanced, far more refined, started failing. Targeting arrays distinct under their own complexity. Shield harmonics destabilized when pushed beyond optimal thresholds. Link systems, designed for perfect coordination, began to interfere with each other under stress. The more they pushed, the more their own technology turned fragile. Human ships didn't need to adapt. They endured. Minute by minute, the balance shifted, not through superior firepower, but through refusal to break. Alien vessels, built on precision, couldn't sustain imperfection. Human vessels were built for nothing else. Retreat orders came too late to preserve pride. But just in time to prevent collapse. Silence spread faster than any signal. Battle reports circulated across the network, stripped of interpretation, reduced to raw data because no one trusted conclusions anymore. Superior fleets had engaged. Superior fleets had failed. Not destroyed, worse, rendered ineffective against something they should have outclassed in every measurable way. The word obsolete vanished from official channels almost immediately. In its place came analysis. Human ships weren't inefficient. They were insulated. Systems weren't outdated. They were isolated, hardened, and deliberately limited. No dependency chains. No single architecture to exploit. Every function existed with the assumption that everything else could fail. Where the galaxy engineered perfection, humanity engineered survival. That difference rewrote everything. Civilizations began auditing their own fleets, and what they found was worse than defeat. Layers of optimization had created invisible weaknesses, points of failure that only existed because systems were designed to be flawless. Remove that assumption, and the entire structure collapsed under pressure. Humans had never chased that ideal. They built ships that expected to be hit. Expected to lose systems. Expected the fight to continue anyway. There was no declaration of victory. No broadcast, no demand, no warning. Human fleets powered down across the same systems they had awakened in, returning to silence without explanation. And for the first time in recorded history, the galaxy understood something it had ignored for too long. Progress was powerful. But it wasn't invincible.